Henry McClure live. Chick-fil-A and Whataburger out here on Topeka Boulevard. Man, oh man, thank God that Blake Scott and Sterling Scott had enough wherewithal to survive being in business in Topeka, Kansas. So, the old Gordman space, think about what these guys went through. I sold them the leasehold interest in this in 2001. May Siegel developed this in the early 60s. Dana K. Anderson made it all happen in the 60s. You ought to hear Dana K. talk about getting that light. Back then, this was a state highway. Think about that. Open 24 hours. But hang on here. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. So, first Arlen goes bankrupt here. Well, then anyway, we had Richmond Gordman, or we had Half Price Store, Richmond Gordman's. Then it turned into Gordman's. Then Gordman's goes bankrupt and stopped paying the taxes. So Blake and Sterling had to pay that. Then the stage bought Richmond Gordman, or Gordman's, out of bankruptcy, and then Stage goes bankrupt. Think about that. And nobody was here bailing them out. And I'm telling you something. And I mean this, Braxton Copley did all this out here out of incompetence. All this road out here, and I think he did it out of spite. $1.7 million in improvements out here. $1.7 million in improvements. From the California consultant that over the last several years, they've made like $3.4 million on us because we can't go out and hire a $200,000 engineer. Well, you know, we don't want to, we should, if we can't get an engineer, hell, an engineer is more important than a city manager, if you ask me. And what's he doing? He ain't collecting the money on Lawrence Bay. You know, at some point in time, something's got to be somebody's responsibility. We're lucky to have Chick-fil-A and Whataburger out here to service the whole east side of our town. And nobody's paving the way for these guys. And I'm bringing up the AT&T building. So what? It turned out to be a bad deal. First you got a special tax abatement area, lowered your taxes down to $3,500. I'm telling you what you guys are going to be doing. This is what's going to happen. Next thing you know, just plan on this. You're going to be renovating Westridge Mall. Because now, wait a second here. That's a good idea. You know, we ought to get more retailers to come to town. Just get ready. Put your seatbelt on. But this Benish people, they couldn't even take into consideration the traffic that used to be at White Lakes. And then how long did White Lakes stay in limbo due to the fact, well, the city is dealing with a developer Well, if you like Chick-fil-A and you like Whataburger, thank Blake Scott and Sterling Scott. Well, and Mainline Printing. Look at that. That's that methylene blue. Yeah, well, we got it. Hey, if we're handing out the thank yous, if we wouldn't have got Mainline Printing to buy that, we wouldn't have had the cash to buy out the ground lease that Mace did in the 60s. $1.7 million. You know, Mace said if you're going to be in the real estate business, you have to have a long memory. I really understand what he was saying. Man, look at this. That looks like it's a little discombobulated. I don't know. I'm not going to touch it. Next thing you know, I'm going to blow up. I wonder what that meter here is for. I don't know. Maybe the lights. Maybe they got some extra lights here. Hey, hey Blake or Sterling, did we ever turn off our security lights? I see a couple of them. If you want me to turn those off. Well, anyway, you got to get out and vote, please, because they're all more organized than me. Look at me. Look at this hour. I'm so unorganized. I'm still up at this hour ranting and raving. But the Chamber of Commerce, they don't want to lose that $5 million from the NGO to go to Topeka. Because all that money, that economic development money, it's just there to make the chamber bigger. Think about this. Look at Molly Howie's emails. She's got one from the Greater Topeka Partnership, Chamber of Commerce, and Go Topeka. So all those, like the $3.4 million in overhead over there. So how much of those people really just work for the Chamber and Greater Topeka Partnership? I mean, are you guys getting it? When are you guys going to wake up and see it? Plus, you better start doing the math on all the streets. All we need are nice streets, clean water, and more police. More safety. Oh, yeah. And we need to have a fence around the police department so the police don't have their car vandalized when they come out to it. Well, I got an uphill battle. We got a lot of work to do over at that water department too. Why don't we put somebody in charge of it that knows how to run it? I'll bet you $1 if I went into the water department, I could find somebody that got stepped over, overlooked, that probably knows more about the water department. Some of us, sometimes you just got to remember, us street people might be some of your best people. Just those of us out in the streets. That's all I got. I'm live. Got to put up a couple more signs. You might see them in the morning.